Shut up!
So, there's an imaginary line down the middle of the blank sheet. That just went off. I'm this side, you're that side, I'm side, that side, you're this side, I'm this side of the line, you're that side of the line. It just went off.
Yeah, no, I get the point.
And then I just went off. No. Hey, he says. It just went off. I didn't. No. And I stick my hand across the line again and again. No. You just went off. I didn't. I say, and I stick my hand across the line again. No. Mom! It just went off. I didn't. I say, and my dad's hand goes up to the side of his face and it just went off. My brother used to imitate it. If I just went off, my brother would walk round the house going, it just went off. It just went off. My dad couldn't stand any went off at breakfast. One, and it just went off. The glare. It just went off. He comes downstairs. It just went off. Sits down in the chair. It just went off. Opens up the newspaper. It just went off. All you can see is his hand. It just went off. From behind the newspaper. We used to just went off. The hand coming out, grabbing the cup, disappearing behind the paper. It just went off. Once, my brother just went off. He goes, just went off. The hand just went off. Once, I sat there and it just went off. A little voice inside me said, hey,
Why don't you...
just went off. I said,
No, that'd be crazy. Dad can't stand it.
Just went off.
Breakfast.
And the little voice said, yeah, but you know you want to, guy. Just went off. Away you go. No, I couldn't. But I just went off. Knife, fork, side of the table, and the newspaper came down and my dad's hand just went off. He started to say, it just went off. But my brother was in there quick with, it just went off. And my dad was left there with his hand in midair, still trying to say, it just went off. It just went off. Eddie, I say, what do you want? Beans, says Eddie. No beans. And he says, it just went off. It just went off. It just went off. Just went off. Just went off. Just went off. He turns into the little fat iron bar again. Bins. In front of my eyes. It just went off. You're a torturer. You're horrible to babies. They're in pain. The noise of Eddie is getting into their bones. I want just went off too. You and I got all these slices. You get told you just went off. Then the snatch Fugel just went off. Eddie, look, just went off. He looks, and he just went off. Just went off. Terrific. Big Tony just went off. Terrific. And Big Tony's go-kart. It just went off. Terrific. And because Big Tony just went off, no one said, Big Tony, you just went off. And that was that. He could make the wind blow in his hair. It just went off. He could make the wheels of his go-kart go. It just went off. And he went, as he went off. Terrific. Haribo's dad said, no. Big metal staples. And it just went off. He said they were heavy duty. Heavy duty? Wow. That just went off. Terrific. So then we just went off. Round the front crosspiece, but Haribo's dad just went off. Used the handle. Pram. Control. Wow. That just went off. Terrific. Our go-kart just went off.
So we took it up to the top of Moss Lane.
And Haribo said, it just went off. And he did. It was fantastic. Just went off. Can I have a go? Haribo said, no. Oh, go on, I said. No, he said, you've never done it before. Oh, go on, Haribo, let me have a go. Go on, I mean. Blimey, come on, Haribo. Go on. No. It just went off. Okay. Don't worry about it. Now look out, won't you? Yeah. It just went off. And away we went. Hair. It just went off. The wheels. It just went off. Me. It just went off. But it just went off. Halfway down Moss Lane. It just went off. And that's where the road just went off. Curves. I saw Moss Close. Just went off. Really fast.
Steer!
Shouts Haribo.
Steer, you big wally.
and the whole world
Just went off.
once and twice and 3 times, and my head
Just went off.
pulling me after it. Haribo.
Just went off.
I breathed in.
It just went off.
There it was again. We
Just went off.
It was still whistling. I told Mum everything, and she said,
Well, it just went off.
One of those nice things that Mum sometimes say.
next day at school, they were all...
Just went off.
They all looked at my tooth, and that tooth,
It just went off.
terrible. When Haribo got his racer, his brand new racing bike,
For Christmas.
I didn't ask him for a go on it. No, I didn't, no. Yeah. No, I didn't.
It just went off.
Oh, go on. I'd love a torch.
Please.
It was no good. I wasn't getting anywhere. Then,
It just went off.
on the table was a big box. In the box, a torch. My dad,
Just went off.
that is, a waterproof torch. Waterproof.
It just went off.
I got into the bath, switch on, search for ship and treasure, up, breathe,
It just went off.
under again, then the torch.
Just went off.
I shook it and banged it. I couldn't get it to go again. My birthday torch.
Just went off.
The torch.
It won't work.
Just went off.
And my dad says, what do you mean? It's
Off.
and it couldn't have just
Off.
How did it?
Just went off.
I don't know.
It just went off.
The noise. You must
Just went off.
It just went off.
just try telling the truth, will you? How did it?
Just went off. It just went off.
Are you mad?
Ruined.
Completely ruined. For weeks and weeks, he nags us stupid that he wants one of these waterproof
Torches, and the first thing he does is.
Just went off.
How long did it last? Connie, how long did it last? 3 minutes? 2 minutes? 2 minutes? 2 minutes? 3 minutes? 2 minutes? 3 minutes? 2 minutes? 2 minutes? These things cost money, you know. Money.
It just went off.
We walk into the shop. My dad,
Just went off.
and he says, you see this torch?
It just went off.
It's-
It just went off.
So the man picks it up. Well, he couldn't have.
Just went off.
How did it?
Just went off.
And my dad says,
It just went off.
oh, come on, says the man, these torches don't.
Just went off.
So I said, well, actually,
It just went off.
I was in the kitchen, and
It just went off.
so the man said that he would take it out the back to show Len. He came back a few minutes later and said that
Just went off.
work either.
It just went off.
You'll have to have a new one, he says. I should think so too.
Thank you.
Outside the shop, my dad says to me,
It just went off.
are you crazy? You were going to tell him all about your underwater swimming fandango, weren't you?
It just went off.
Stand by for the dive bomb.
Wow.
Did you see that one?
It just went off.
We piled up all the cushions in the corner so you could
Just went off.
along the wall, round the corner, back to the chair, next to the settee, jugga, 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 and banging your feet on the floorboards, thudder, 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 thudder.
It just went off.
And away we went. Stand by for dive bomb. Woo! Bouncy, 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 bouncy.
Red Devil!
It just went off.
Yahoo! The doorbell.
Just went off.
It was the man from downstairs. Is your father in? No, I said. Tell him.
It just went off.
Yeah, I said. I shall tell your mother and father.
It just went off.
You'll see. I dashed back to the front room. They
It just went off.
That was the man from downstairs. He says we've
Just went off.
his light or something.
It just went off.
Blimey, one of them says.
It just went off.
Yeah,
It just went off.
said, and they got up off the floor and dashed out the house. You can bet they didn't
Just went off.
or anything.